I'm with my friend Simon Wright today.
How you doing, Dave?
Good to see you, man.
Good to
It's
see
been
you.
a while.
Yep.
So this guy is one of the hardest hitting, most solid drummers I've known.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't like pansying around.
No. You're not a pansy at all.
No.
No. But yeah, just wanted to talk real quick about your career and stuff like that. And you've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I know you've done 3 albums with ACDC.
Yes, that's right.
And you've done a few with Dio. You've done several. What,
Yep.
about 5 or 6 albums with
It's
those?
6, I believe.
6 albums.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also Queensryche, it was with Jeff Tate.
Yeah, that was a collaboration on drums with Brian Tichy. He did some
really?
and I did some.
Okay.
And, yeah, that was great. That was a really good time. A lot of creative things going on with that, different styles of songs. And
right.
It was really cool.
That's very cool. He's a really good drummer too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I really want to get into the story of how you got the gig with ACDC. You've told me this before, but
yeah,
I want to hear it again.
You and a lot of other people.
And how old were you when this happened?
When it happened, I was living in London. I was about 19. And I wasn't really looking around for a band at the time. I was just kind of, smoking a lot of pot back then. I don't anymore, but I used anyway. And a friend of mine saw an ad they had these music papers back then,
right.
Sounds and Melody Maker.
Yeah.
It was in the back page and it said, drummer needed. If you don't hit hard, don't apply. And she said, you do? And I'm like, well, I guess I do, yeah. Anyway, I got an invitation to go down to this rehearsal studio, which wasn't too far away from where we were living. And I went down there, and there was a drum kit and a PA system and a drum tech, whose name was Dickie Jones, who was my drum tech for a long time there. And he asked me if I could play these 3 songs. One was Black Dog by Zeppelin.
Okay.
One was Tush, ZZ Top, and the other was Shoot to Thrill by ACDC.
Okay.
So I played along. I kind of knew them. Black Dog was a little bit... it's got those stops and starts. No.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So it's got the stops, right? So I thought I'll just kind of pick up on it as it gets going. That way I'll be in time, kind of thing. Anyway, I did it. So I played the songs as best I could. Yeah. And he told me afterwards, he said, that was really great. We'll give you a call back.
Yeah.
And I really thought to myself, yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Okay, that was cool. Whatever. And he called me back about 2 hours later and he says, can you come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I told him straight, I said, no, I can't. I haven't got any money.
Right.
And he said to me, well, just get yourself in a taxi and get down here tomorrow. Right. So off I go the next day in the taxi and I meet up with him in the lobby of this rehearsal place. And he said, just follow me, went to a different part of it. Yeah. And there's all these flight cases lined up along the wall with ACDC on them, painted on them. And I sort of stopped him and tapped him and said, are you fucking joking? Right? I'm like 19. I haven't been anywhere, and he said, no. So we opened the door and there's Angus and Mal and Cliff. Brian wasn't there. He was back in Florida, apparently.
Right.
But they were the nicest people. I mean, they were really down to earth. They were just like us and just regular kind of people. There was no nervousness going on. I just said, well, they asked me, what do I know? I said, well, I know Rosie, I know Back in Black, Let It Be Rock. So we got down to playing and they all seemed pretty happy with the way things were going. Then we stopped and they moved over one of the couches in there and sat down. And they started talking about like touring and tour dates and stuff. And I'm thinking, should I be here? Or what's going on here?
That's amazing.
So I tapped Mal on the shoulder. I said, Mal, does this mean I'm in the band? And he said, yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Man, that is so cool.
And then my whole life changed.
That is amazing.
So,
and it's like
that's how that went.
Just walking down the hallway, like you said, and seeing the flight cases with the name ACDC on it, that just must have tripped you out.
I
would've been
really didn't have time to think about it. I just, but it, obviously I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm like I say, I was just a kid. I hadn't been out of Manchester much.
That's amazing.
Let alone living in London.
That is such a great story.
Yeah, it really is. It's and like I say, my life after that just changed completely. I had no money worries, or had to rearrange things and move and get. It was good.
That's a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's how that went.
Well, that's a great story, man. And all right, I know you got to get going. You got some stuff to do today, so
I think so.
Yeah, I just thank you so much for spending some time with me, my friend.
No problem.
All right, buddy.
Yeah. See you again.
I'll see you.
Stay frosty.
Yeah, you too.